All right, and we are live. Welcome,
Hey,
welcome. How you doing?
what's up? All right, what up, Shank Shank?
Welcome to my podcast. So, what's your story? Today we
Word.
welcome Mr. Well, what you want to call yourself?
I mean, at me at Bryan Empower, Bryan Smith, of course, my name, B Smith, however you know me. But you can find me at Bryan Empower.
Adam Bryan Empower. All right. So let's start off with. Can you give me a brief, synopsis of what you do?
hmm So, in a nutshell, I'm a leadership coach and consultant, but I'm also um, a social change agent in the public school education space.
Okay. And do you own any businesses?
Yeah, Empower Circle. It's my leadership and coach consulting company.
Awesome. So if anybody wanted to reach out to you, how would they do so?
They can go to Bryan Empower, or I just put my website down as I'm rebranding the company. But they can reach me at Bryan at empoweredcircle.com. That's the email.
All right, all right. So let's get into it. Can you tell everyone where you are born, raised, how many siblings you have?
Born and raised Bridgeton, New Jersey. Got all sisters, three sisters. Um,
Ooh.
that's it. Born and raised.
Oh, so you the only boy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which number are you?
On my mom's side, I'm the middle child. She has my older sister, which my older sister is by a different father. My younger sister is by me and we had the same father. On my dad's side, I'm the oldest. My youngest sister has a different mother. My younger sister, again, like I said, we both had the same parents.
Okay. And are you a junior?
Yeah, I'm a junior. How else you think I got the name Bryan Smith? The
Y'all
least
ain't
creative
hear him.
name.
He talking crap already.
No, I wasn't talking crap to you. I'm just saying, like, in general, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like, who wakes up and name his child Bryan Smith? Unless you want them to be, you know what I mean? After you would be a junior.
right, right. So, how would you say that you grew up? Would you say that you grew up middle class, impoverished, well off, maybe an in between somewhere?
No, definitely poverty.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a rough level poverty. It wasn't like because my mom, single parent, but she worked double time, overtime, all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Multiple, what I mean? Not same job, just multiple different shifts, barely seen her, you know what I mean? But especially starting like middle school, high school, really never seen her like because she was always working and she was in the room sleep. So because of that, I mean, her income went right over that little poverty line of where you can't receive
Mm-hmm.
benefits. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? So it wasn't no first of the month, nothing. It was just a consistent struggle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right,
No
right, right.
blessings, no call.
I feel like that's
Or
worse than poverty, to be honest.
that's why I said it's a rougher poverty situation because you don't get no benefits.
Yeah.
You really just stuck. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah. So how would you say that uh how impactful was that towards your upbringing? Like, did you feel it? Like, did you feel like you were on your own, or like you had to make some bread?
I don't know. It had a lot of different impacts. I mean, if you want to talk about like when I was actually young, I didn't feel it. I was still popular. You know what I mean? I still was, I mean, getting love. Like, cause shit. Honestly, I feel like some of my friends had it worse, right? Like, so
Mm,
my mom going to work, she ain't on drugs. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
so some of my best bros, they mom, I mean, was on drugs and doing, I mean, X, Y, and Z. So my crib was more of the the open crib. Everybody came to my crib, you know what I mean, after school to just basically do absolutely nothing. So that was the impact. Uh, I'm talking about nothing in terms of like successful stuff. You feel what I'm saying? We ain't doing homework. We ain't, you feel me?
Right.
Like we really, my crib is the crib. So negatively, it impacted me that way, but positively, I mean, I still felt norm. I still felt good. I'm still who I was.
Okay. So, at what age did you feel like you needed to help contribute, or was it a situation where you like, all right, I gotta get out of this?
Oh no, I had to get out. Like high school, going all through high school. That's when I slipped up. Like middle school was cool, but high school was when it was a wrap. Like I was in like, and I used to love football. Football was my love, was my passion. But I was ineligible for sports sophomore year, junior year, senior
Mm-hmm.
year. Grades was terrible, but my like it continued. My crib continued to be that crib. So it was, of course, I mean, you got my selling weed, doing all that extra stuff, but my crib was just a crib, and we wasn't focused on no academics. It was more of, I mean, hometown stuff. And I think at like 19, I went to like 17 was my first time. Senior high school was my first time actually talking to a guidance counselor. For
Mm,
from my memory, and that's your exit interview. You feel what I'm saying? And then she just was like,
wow.
Bryan, 4 year college or anything like that can't be. That's not it with what you have. Your grades. I graduated like the bottom of my class in high school. Like all jokes aside, but she
Mm,
was like, you're gonna have to go to a community college, and you're gonna have to take, you know what I mean, like your 898 class, 99, those remedial classes before you even get into like some elective classes. So really, like after that, being in the community college still was in the hood because it's in the community. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
you feel me? I got homework, and I'm pulling up to the block with the homework in the back, really with the same behaviors I had in high school, to be honest.
Right.
It wasn't until, I went to Dell State campus, and that's kind of what changed my thought process on what I wanted to
Okay.
do and where I needed to get out. So that was like, I need to get out.
So you mentioned that you was kind of being a knucklehead at the house, but would you say that your house was kind of like the safe space for everybody versus being outside, or were you still outside in the elements as well?
Nah, my crib was outside,
Okay.
but it still was a safe space. Like, not a safe space in the term that we think safe space is today. Like, of course, everybody got a little bit more knowledge on mental health and everything else. I don't think it was that. It was more of there is no there was no restrictions, rules, regulations at my house. So we all can go in and do whatever we
Mm-hmm.
you feel what I'm saying? We loud, we
Gotcha.
talking, we wrestling, you know what I mean? People bringing in drugs, we bringing in girls, we like there's no rules, there's no regulations. My mom either sleep or she at work, two
Mm,
shifts. You feel what I'm saying? 11 to 7, 7 to 3, or 7 to 3, 3 to 11. Coming home down there midnight, going straight to the back, going to sleep. You feel me? So that was it. So it was everybody came because they just felt like that was just freedom as a
okay.
teenager.
So speaking of that, did your mom know that y'all were doing that at the time?
Like what? Bringing girls and stuff over? Yeah, she
Basically
knew we
doing
was all in
whatever.
there. I don't think she understood it to her fullest extent, but did she have the mind, the capacity to think about it after working two shifts, after working 16 hours and dead tired?
Mhm.
I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think she probably looked at it like Junior and all his friends in the crib.
Right.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And that's just
I
what it
got
is.
you. So
Mm-hmm.
you brought out Dell State University. Um,
Mm-hmm.
can you tell me like a little of your story of how you started going there? Did anybody try to push you to go there?
Nah, anybody push me. My boy Herb, he asked me one day, it's just like, yo, B, I'm about to drive to Dell State to handle some financial aid stuff. You want to ride with me? So I rode with him. You know what I mean? Went to the administration building, seen that long financial aid line with all them girls. And I'm like, so I'm coming here.
Not the girls.
I'm like, don't come in here. So then we walked around campus. We did all of that. I'm like, yo, bro, bitch, I'm coming in here. Yeah, like that was my mentality. So I like that. It was so much going on in the hood at that time. That's when like all of my homies and all of them, they started doing the blood Crip stuff, and all my homies started doing the blood shit, and I'm just not with that. I mean,
Mhm.
so I mean, people at that time, OG getting killed. I had beef with a shooter. I had two girls pregnant at the same time. It was a mess going on during this time. You feel what I'm saying? It was so when I felt that energy, like sometimes it like when you have the ability to be conscious and you get in a new environment, it'll shift you immediately. You feel what I'm saying? Like it'll shift you immediately and
Right.
you change. And that's just been my personality all my life. If I see something new, my shift happen and I grow right from there. So when I say I seen
Right.
Dell State, I mean it was the wrong reasons. It was the wrong reason. It wasn't academic focus, but it was I seen something that was different in the hood. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm getting out of here. So I went back to my community college advisor and just let him know like I wanted to transfer. He told me if I transfer right now, then I will only have, I think I had like 60 something, like 60 credits. He told me
How
like
many
half
you
of my
lost?
credits went. And I
Half?
had 60. When I went to Dell State, I had 29. I
Woo!
was still a freshman. I was like 2 credits short or 1 credit, 2 credits short of being a sophomore when I came, but I didn't care. I was ready
Mm.
to go now. 29.
He said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't care what
Word
you
up,
talking about. Transfer
word
me
up.
over where the girls at."
That and they talking about I had to sleep in. They talking my. I remember the letter. I was like, they said Jenkins 304. This was before it became a female dorm. It was still a male dorm at this time. And like Jenkins 304. I think it was 304. I'm like, yo, I got accepted. You know what I mean? And her was like, yeah, that's the all boy dorm. I said, man, I ain't sleeping no all. So I went there. I got in contact with the dude who scheduled the rooms. I went down there. He was in the basement. I think like a laws or something on the down floors. That he opened up his book. I said, "Listen, I'm 19. I don't want to be around these kids, these 17-year-olds, these new freshmen. My friends over in Warren Franklin. Then, you know what I mean? So he opened the book, put me in 32. I said, all right, cool. Now, let's get busy out here.
Oh, you was
Yeah, I
lit.
bypassed all that freshman, all past all of that. They told me
See,
I
they
couldn't
made
drive
us
because I
stay in
was a
the
freshman.
freshman dorm.
No, and they told me I couldn't drive because I had a freshman credits. I walked right in there like I was a senior and got my decal right on my car. They, they ain't even check to see if I was a freshman or not. I walked in there like I belonged in that
Oh my goodness. He
Word,
just do what he want.
word up. Word. And it took me a while. It took me, I ain't get into like 2 weeks after the start date. I ain't choose my major yet, none of that. I just was
Mm,
accepted, ain't know what to do with it. You know what I
okay.
mean? Like her, so the financial aid, her was at the financial aid office again, like in the midsummer, and he had put the lady on the phone to talk to me. And she was like, Brian, you accepted, but you ain't do nothing. You ain't did your FAFSA, you haven't picked a major, you
Mm,
haven't been here to do. I said, oh, I gotta do all right, cool. So that's what made me start
man.
driving back and forth to Dell State to make sure I had all of that handled. That was a wild, that was a
Jeez.
wild beginning.
It sound like it. So
Or
would you say that Del State kind of changed your life?
hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
In what
hell yeah.
ways?
Like as I grew through Dell State, like even though it's like an educated hood, it was like still educated. You feel what I'm saying? You're still learning
Yeah.
shit. You feel what I'm saying? You see an end goal, you thriving towards something. This graduation date, you know what I mean? Like, and you establish a new set of friendships, you know what I mean? Brotherhood, sisterhoods, you know what I mean? You just enjoy life differently. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was just when I was able to enjoy life differently amongst, you know what I mean, people that look like us although it was some fighting here and there and all, it wasn't nothing compared to Bridgeton. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't what that
Mm.
was to me anyway. It wasn't what it was to me anyway. But the love, you know what I mean, the long lasting relationships, and just the environment was different, especially as you grow. Like I was different at when I graduated than when I came in at 19. You know what I mean? I was a complete, like, I'm not saying completely, but I was like different in maturity.
Mm.
You know, and so when I
Okay.
graduated, and went back home, this is how I know it changed me, because when I went back home, I just didn't look at home the same anymore.
Mm. How did you look at it?
I looked at it like my mind had outgrown it.
Mm. That's deep.
So I started doing different things when I went home that time. Like I wasn't just in the hood. I was actually trying to change it. You know what I mean? Like I was doing programs for teens, at-risk reentry programs for ex-convicts, throwing parties,
Nice.
throwing events, bringing entertainment to the hood. You feel what I'm saying? Like doing those type of things. And
Mm.
of course, we was doing the rapping thing too. So we was doing the music, but our messaging and what we was doing for the hood was a little different than it was before I went to college.
Okay. So when I met you, you were in a rap group
Yeah,
called the Dope Stars.
yeah.
Can you tell me a little about how that came about?
Oh man, we started rapping like 16, 17 years old. And my bro Ones, and we had like two other people in our group. It was called Street Runners. All
Okay.
right. So we was like 17. And then at like 18, like the whole hood like started getting involved in rapping and everything else. And it was like now we in the larger group, it's like 7, 8 of us, and we call it 30 deep. Like 8 people rap, but it was like 22 other people that's just, you feel what I'm saying? Was just
You had a
around.
whole entourage.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna say I did, like we did. It was just we was already on the block. You feel what I'm saying? Like we were already, it was just
Mm-hmm.
what it was. So it was that was 30 deep. So we was making music, but in between 30 deep CDs and mixtapes that we was doing, me and Ones always did like our own duo stuff. And it was just called B Smith and Ones, a mixtape. Like in between, you know, I mean, as we do, because we did like 4 or 5 mixtapes with 30 deep, and then like 2, 3 mixtapes with just me and him. So when he went to college for football scholarship, he went to Iowa, you know what I mean? And I went to Dell State. We ain't really do
Mm-hmm.
too much music in between that. And we was just like, yo, when we get home, it's on. You know what I mean? We done did our years of college. It's
Yeah.
time to go full steam. Because we had to create our own stuff, because everybody was doing the blood and Crip stuff real heavy at this time. We got people from out
Mm-hmm.
of town, Trenton and Camden, all these different bloods. You come back home, the block look different. Yeah, you know what I mean, I'm like, nah, I ain't none of this.
Mm-hmm.
So we just created our whole own situation, like this is our movement type of thing.
Nice. Um, so would you say that you were the hood hope?
That's what the mixtape was called. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
deep.
And I ain't gonna say me personally, just me individually, like as a team, you feel what I'm saying? And everybody else, our brothers that was in support and that was with the Dope Star movement, we all was the hood because we all was on a different mindset. You feel what I'm saying? We all was on this mindset
Okay.
of getting out, you feel what I'm saying? Giving back and getting out.
Got you. So were you ever signed before?
Nah, we was close a couple times, man. Like our first trip to Atlanta at 17 was to meet with Akon. We was in Akon's studio.
Okay.
This is before he even got big the way he was getting, like where he at now. We
Mm-hmm.
was in with them, um, and I forgot what that record label was called that we was dealing with in New York. But then we had this manager that also was invested like 80,000 into us, but he did some snake stuff. He started
Uh
spending
oh.
he started spending our money on personal stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Me and One's ripped him.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that was a bad conversation.
I know, right?
Like it was
Yeah,
more than a conversation.
but people don't speak about those things when they start talking about the journey. I like to talk about, yeah, I mean, the real authentic stuff. So if you in this journey,
Yeah.
like pay attention. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you know if you got finances invested in it. I mean that you're not looking at a dream as just a dream, and you're looking at it as some form of a business structure.
Right.
You feel me? Because that's what this whole music stuff been turned into is just let me invest all this money in the music, studio time, all of that, put it out for free and hope somebody
Hope
find
something
me.
catches on.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like hope a viral moment
Mm-hmm.
happened. Now it's a viral moment, but before the viral moment or the internet thing, it was just hoping an A&R, somebody just found you out of this
Yeah.
pool of people that rap, and you know what I mean. That's a hope dream. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like just to be able to make sure you're looking at anything, any art that you're doing at the business structure around it.
Okay. Um, if you were to give your younger self some advice, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh shit, man! The same thing I tell all of my youth, all of the teens that I developed, mentor since for 10 years now. It's like when I talk to them, it's like talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? And that is utilizing their gifts and skills in a way that, you know, is first one, you can align to and you can be happy doing, but then three, it gets you involved in skill to where you can succeed in life now and not just your future life. Like, and I think sometimes when we message to our younger selves or any youth for that matter, it's always about future that's 5, 10 years down the line and not what's intriguing to them now. You feel what I'm saying? So I would say
Right.
like right now, instead of being a leader at your crib or a leader amongst friends and have friends that's leaders and y'all all in it. I really almost always hung with leaders. Like all we always was just this one big leadership group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like instead of doing that, go be with the SGA. You feel
Right.
what I'm saying? Be a part of your student government body in your high school and utilize your leadership that way. Same, I would tell myself that at 19 at Dove State. I will go back and tell my college self, yo, family was dope. Either create an organization for it so it can be continuing for people from up north and all these different inner places and hoods that's trying to
Mm-hmm.
thrive. This is for y'all. And we want to keep it going. This is coming back, mentoring, keep the organization going, or be in the SGA and utilize your leadership and your following that way. I would just definitely have utilized my leadership skills differently in my younger
Differently.
self. Yeah.
Gotcha. So speaking of family, you didn't bring that up at first, but let's get a little into that. I heard that y'all ran the campus when you went there.
Nah, we ain't run nothing.
This is from people who went there. They said that y'all run the campus and they aspired to be like a group like y'all.
It was wild how we all connected though, man. It was nothing. What word am I looking for? Like it was like it was just so organic. It wasn't like yo, two or three of us like yo, we about to go find some people to be in the clique. Like that wasn't it. You feel what I'm saying? It was just a bunch of up north people like had they swag already. They already was individuals. You feel what I'm saying? Like nobody made anybody. Like as people continue to just engage and grow together, like we just became a group. Like it just and it wasn't like intentional. Like again, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't trying to be like, yo, we about to be this rap group and we about. It wasn't that. It was more of like, yo, we rock with each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we in the crib, we in CJ crib all the time. We doing family dinners. You know what I mean? We cooking, we bringing the girls, like we doing real brother stuff. You know what I mean? Like stuff that I ain't do at home. You know what I mean? Like that was a different type of brotherhood than some stuff at, back in the hood. Like, but I'm like, yo, this is dope. You feel me? And then it was time when it was like, man, we just family. We ain't about to be no name because I think people was trying to put names in it and create names. And I just like, man, we just family. And that's what it was. It ain't become family until we was performing. And I
Okay.
just was like, family. saying family, but when you say lay, it sounds like lay. And then they were like, that's family.
That sounds very organic. Do you still keep in contact with family?
Not as yes, but not as much as I wish we did. You feel what I'm saying? Like when I look at Kappas and Sigmas and you feel what I'm saying, and all the line brothers and how they continuously keep up and go to homecomings together and go on trips and stuff like that. Like I wish we had continued, you know what I mean, with our energy throughout our years. I mean, so we didn't. But we've been having that conversation, especially at the last homecoming. I called everybody. Like, yo, we gotta get the homecoming. You know what I mean? Because things happen in life. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you don't talk to somebody, it's not intentional. You feel me? Like it's just things start happening as you grow. Yeah, life start life and people start getting kids, people get married, or people go through traumatic stuff. You feel what I'm saying, that you ain't aware of or privy to at the time, and people change and grow because of it. And everybody, we ain't the same people who we were on campus. You feel me? So it's just like you just got to continue to be in those conversations and keep the relationship going. And if I gotta be that person this year, leading up to homecoming, and I just sign on. You know what I'm saying?
Still, you know this homecoming going to be a great homecoming.
Word up.
They said it was sold out last year.
Yo, homecoming was lit, dog. I had so much fun. That was a fun homecoming. I'm glad I came because I definitely wasn't going to go with that rain.
Yeah, the rain almost turned you away, but then you turned around and took a picture with everybody.
Thanks.
So, speaking of the teens that you work with, have you ever had a situation where something like really scared you and you didn't know how to respond to it?
Yeah. I think I've seen just about almost 80% of some things that you can see in the negative light. I had a teenage girl walk up to the building, slicing her wrist with glass. So her wrist bleeding and everything as she walking up to me, she crying. And I'm like, at that point, you feel me? Like I didn't know what to do. Like in my head, I'm like, how do I have this conversation? How do I talk to her? One of my team members, she was an elder. She was like in her 60s at the time. She was in the art. She basically was an art instructor. She just went out there and just opened. She ain't say nothing. She just opened her arms. And the teenage girl just gave her a hug. And I just was able to take the glass out of her hand when she was giving her a hug, and she just bust out crying. Like, damn, that's all this kid needed. You feel what I'm saying? With some love and whatever she was going through at the moment. But then you get teens that you pour into, but the environment is just that it takes over. So you lose them. Sometimes you lose them, and just hope that the seeds that you planted, I mean, whatever thunderstorm they may go through later in life, that thunderstorm activate that seed that you planted, and they be like, damn, this is what Mr. Bryan was talking about when I was 16. Now I'm going through it at 22 or 26, and this is what Mr. Bryan was talking about. And that can, I mean, help, change the course of their life. But yeah, you had some teens go to jail, had some teens, I mean, you had a teen get murdered. Like you go through those situations. But for the most part, you got to hang on to the ones who you actually impacted and went on to do successful things with their lives.
Gotcha. So B, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy is doing shit that I love to do every single day, man. Like I asked myself a similar question. It was a little different though. I just asked myself like, and this was about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3.5, like 2.5, 3 years ago, because I went through like a little midlife crisis that I ain't even talked about on social media or nothing like that yet. But I definitely went through one. And coming out of it, I asked myself, I said, all right, so what, like if I was to retire right now at this age, not when I'm 60 or 70, like if I had the opportunity to retire right now, what would I be doing with my life? Like right now, with my health, my energy. And I was like, I definitely would be still probably coaching somebody, leading somebody, right? Like, yeah, I still be doing these certain things. I travel, and I was like, all right, then that's what I'm about to do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going 100% in coaching and doing my coaching consultant company and coaching leaders. I'll do 100% remote. Flexibility makes me happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Um, Being able to be my creative self and be exactly who I am and be valued for it make me happy. Right.
Nice.
Income, getting paid well to do what I love to do makes me happy. You know what I'm
Like
saying? Like I can be in
for sure.
Mexico doing this. Yeah, I can be in Jamaica doing this right now. You
Right.
feel me? And be just 100% remote and doing what I'm doing. Making impact makes me happy. So knowing that what I'm doing is purpose driven,
Mm.
along with like I'm doing business. I have a good contracts in LA. I do great here in Georgia. So it's just those type of things make me happy.
Nice. So if somebody wanted to have you mentor them, do you offer those services?
Now I will, but not right now. I don't have the capacity.
Got you.
Yeah, I don't have the capacity. Like I have two contracts, and then I'm school full time. Well, I don't want to say that. I wasn't supposed to say that part, but
Uh-uh.
if people get stuff that I don't want to I don't want to put out. Yeah, that's the part of my life we keep it secret. But yeah.
The non-disclosure. All right.
Word.
Um, what would you like your legacy today?
I think at the bottom line is empowerment. When I look at the core of everything that I do, it's empowerment on the foundation of it. You feel what I'm saying? So if I lead this world today, and there are a lot of individuals, whether it's my mentees, peers, people I coach, supported, friends, family, if they can all stand up and say that I empowered them in some way, form, or fashion, then I'm good with that legacy.
Okay, that sounds good. So I do want to reel back because I kind of missed this part. I know you said you grew up with your mom.
Hmm.
Um, where was your father?
My father was there. He was working too. He had some challenges in my middle school, high school years. Um, but again, like our parents can only do what I mean is what they know. You know, um, I know my dad. He was there like high school years. I just what I needed for both parents was them to like be hands on.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't have that capacity to do that. So I just was free. And my dad wasn't with me like in the house, so he can't really mandate too much. You feel me?
Hmm.
So it was when I was 18 is when me and my dad relationship really got closer. Like I'm somebody like we was close like youngin, but again he was in the streets, he was doing his own thing too. You feel me? Like and when he left alcohol and all of that and changed his whole complete, he did actually drop him down, no program or nothing. Just said cold
Mm.
turkey, I'm done. You feel me? Um, so at 18 is when he took me to every court in the county. There's like 5 different courts that I had bench warrants, fines in, and paid them. Cussed me
Mm.
out the whole ride. Definitely cussed me out the whole ride. The entire ride, cussed me out the whole ride. But I listened, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't reactive. I ain't, you know what I mean? The only time I probably said something back when he was like, you out here, you drinking and smoking with these niggas, and I don't drink and I don't smoke.
Mm.
Everything else you got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything else you right. But I like, Dad, I don't drink, I don't smoke.
I'm cracking
Grown
up.
is in the streets, drug up, cool, you got it. That part
What,
I ain't
what
do.
was your first time? Yeah.
Huh?
Where was your first time drinking?
College. But But hold on, let me rewind a little bit. I want to finish your question. So when my
Okay.
dad did that, that's when we really started to build a more deeper relationship. And then when I went to college, he the one that signed off on the loan for me.
Nice. Okay.
So he signed off on the loan. And after that, like as an adult, man, I think I got the best relationship I could have with a father. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. But I ain't started drinking until sure it was my last 3 weeks of my senior year of the last semester.
What made you give into the
That was
peer pressure?
the rise, the rise for women. We we was all in sports management. We was at the little gazebo thing in the courtyards. They had the juice. They're like, man, B, man, we made it, bro. And I
Oh,
just started really like, I really had to process it when he said it. Like, man, we made it. I'm like, damn. Like, if you heard the journey that I'm sharing, I probably only share what's on the surface of that journey. I ain't talk about a whole lot of deep level stuff that I went through high school years and all of that. So I'm like, is he right? We about to graduate college in 3 weeks. I was in high school with the lowest academic, rates of my class, the entire class. And I'm like, I'm really about to graduate. Man, give me the cup. You know what I'm saying? Man,
that's
give
the
me the
time for a
cup.
celebration.
This is the time. This drink. Word up. So that was my first. I didn't get real drunk that time. I got drunk when we went on our class trip. We went to Jamaica, Del State '07. We went to
Okay.
Jamaica. That's when I got drunk. I started feeling that was my first time feeling the roller coaster. Everybody laughing at me. I said, man, I'm out. I'm going to the room. I check out. I'm going to sleep. This shit's scary right here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man, fun though. Yeah, man, fun.
So I do want to bring up a time where, I mean, my first year of college, I didn't know anything about financial aid and stuff, everything that you were saying. And it kind of was hard for me because one of my parents made a lot of money, the other parent didn't. So the parent that made a lot of money was paying for my college. And I was going to all the parties and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly could not afford any books. And B came out and was like, bruh, financial aid, like how you going to school and you don't have no books? Like how you going to be successful in what's up? Like, and I definitely appreciate that. So I do want to put that out there that I definitely appreciate you for that because I was failing all my classes because I couldn't afford the books. So what made you do that good gesture? And you did not know me like that.
Oh, I remember you saying that you was behind me in the line, I think, or we was walking in the store or inside us. Where was that? Where was we? Were we in the bookstore that time?
Or
Yeah, I just remember you having a conversation, but I also know where I'm from.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? So when I see it and I hear it, I'm like, oh no, hell no, we here to be great. Yeah, I know how I just got here. You know what I mean? Like you just heard my story and getting here, and it just, oh, we gotta make it. I got money left on this joint. Like I'm good.
Nice.
Take this, you know what I mean? Take this, get your books, get there, get what you need. You know what I mean, to succeed. That's how I just felt.
There you go. I'm gonna give it back to you one day.
Nah, you good.
All right. So we're gonna wrap up, but I do want you to leave us off with an inspirational quote or something that you live by every day that keeps you going.
And you know what? I'm gonna say exactly what I just spoke to my one of my bros from Cali. We just had like a good hour conversation before this on my drive home, and we was talking about peace. And he was telling me, he was like, bro, man, like when I'm listening to you and I'm following you, you're like you really uh became a man of peace. And like when I was telling, I was like, everybody use that word peace really loosely though, you know. And about if it ain't about peace, I'm cutting it off. This and that. I'm protecting my peace and my peace and my peace, and I'm protecting. Man, peace is an investment. You got to invest in peace. That is not something that comes easy. You feel what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like you really got to invest in peace. Like it just doesn't come because you got this defense mechanism and you using that to say, okay, this is my piece, and I don't want you to disrupt it because you don't know how to go through and navigate conversations and situations. That ain't protecting your peace. You feel what I'm saying? Like protecting, you got to invest in it before you protect it. Like you got to invest in how to be peaceful from within. Like whether that's through counseling, like I did, I went to therapy. I redecorated my home to give it an oasis. You feel what I'm saying? Like I went on vacations. You know what I mean? I go to nature. I go to like events that I feel as though empower me. Like I do those type of things to say like, no, this is what peace feel like. That's like I know what it feel like. I know what I needed to feel like, and I know when people around me that ain't did the work because they don't value peace.
Those are some gems right there.
You feel what I'm saying? You know when they don't value it, so they'll come and disturb your shit. You know what I mean? When you telling them, hey, nah, chill, we ain't off that. We don't do that type of energy. They don't value their own peace, so they're coming to your stuff and disturb it unintentionally. You know what I mean? Like unintentionally, I don't think it's intentional. Like I'm about to just go and mess up somebody else's peace. They just don't value it. It's just like having if I put worth in my car and you don't put value in yours and you step in mine, you're going to treat it the way you treat yours. We don't value our stuff the same. So you may leave the fries in the middle of the seat and the soda on you're going to do that. It's not intentional. That's just the way you value your stuff, right? So peace is the same way. You got it until you only value it unless you invest in it. For example, like I'm starting my home buying process. I drive past phenomenal cribs all the time. You know what I mean? Like in my area is dope cribs. They $700-800 million, but I ain't buying them. But they just dope cribs.
Yeah.
But when I look at them, I'm like, nah, it's not the piece that I'm looking for. All right. So like if I'm going to invest, since what got me here is me investing in peace. So investments is everything that you do. Is it going to bring you peace? Right. This investment bringing you long-term appreciation for yourself, peace and all that. So I'm like, nope. So now I'm like, oh, I know what my investment going to be. I'm getting a lake house.
Oh.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's either going to happen these 12 months or 24 months. But if I'm going to make this type of investment, I want to go to my backyard, have my fire pit, see the lake, get on a kayak, do the shit that you know what I mean? That I know going to bring me peace if I'm wherever I'm feeling. So that's my investment into my peace. So it's just consistent investment. You can't go through quarters of life without doing something for yourself that's going to bring you peace, whether that's vacation, going to the studio, doing some poetry, whatever it is that bring you peace, you got to invest in it.
Go ahead. That's a wonderful way to end this. So I definitely want you to let people know how they can get a hold of you. If you're free, how would they get it?
Word up. All right, so you can email me at bryanempowercircle.com if there's any. So what I will be doing in January and February is I will have small group coaching sessions and large group coaching sessions. Okay. And it'll be like weekly sessions, like a 4-week session thing where I give these type of gems and coaching and everything else. I don't know when I had a capacity for one-on-one, but I will be doing small group and large group. So you can inquire about that, or you can just follow me on at Bryan Empower.
All right. Thank you again for coming on. And we definitely will have a part 2 to dive a little more deep into.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, Shane. Appreciate you.